Season 1, Episode 3, Hothead. First, I just want to start by saying I think everyone in this episode takes high school way too seriously. Like, both the principal and the coach care way too much. Not worth killing anyone over and not worth dying over. Overall theme in the episode is about coming of age, defiance of parental expectations, making your own decisions. We got 3 different young people who are trying to be independent, to decide what it is they value, what's most important to them personally, and making decisions that align with those values, even if it doesn't line up with what their parents have planned out for them. Lana decides that honesty is more important to her than popularity. It's not worth it to her to be a cheerleader for people who care too much about winning a stupid game in high school that they'll cheat. Clark decides all he cares about is popularity, and he'll risk hurting people, exposing his secrets, and is willing to cheat like a total loser in order to get it. Seriously? Like, playing sports with a superhuman edge that nobody knows about just so you can be popular is really losery behavior. I'm just saying, objectively. Even if there was no risk of hurting people, it's just losery. He acts like he doesn't understand why his dad isn't proud of him. Like, any dad should be proud of their son if he was good at football. Why aren't you proud of me for being good at football? It's like, dude, because it takes 0 effort. Like, you don't have to work at it at all. You're just automatically the best person on the team instantly. All the effort you're going to be putting into it is avoiding being too good. And you're wondering why really you're going to act stupid and act like you don't know why it's different. Like, you're a Kryptonian playing in human sports. There's no competition. Here, I got an idea. Let's try and get him onto a team of Kryptonians. Throw him into that high school match and see how fast he becomes a pale kid.
The pale kids? Who are they?
The pale kids are the kids who actually choose to stay inside during recess.
The uncoolest of the uncool. Uncooler than me?
Interesting parallel, by the way, between Clark and the coach. The coach just cares about his legacy, right? He cares about that admiration. He cares about people seeing him a certain way. Clark just cares about being popular and being admired by Lana. So they both have this, it's called the vice of human respect. Human respect. They care too much about what people are thinking of them. They want to be seen a certain way. The coach is willing to cheat in order to reach his status goal, his legacy. Clark is also willing to cheat in order to reach his status goal, being a football jock. I also want to point out, Clark clearly doesn't know Lana very well, because part of this is he's trying to impress Lana, and I guess he's drawn the stupid conclusion that the main thing Lana sees in Whitney is that he's a football player. Like, he thinks that she's going to be impressed because he's on the football team. It's funny, actually. It's comical that Clark is defying his father to get on the football team, thinking it's going to impress Lana. At the very same time, Lana is quitting the cheerleaders because she clearly isn't impressed by that kind of thing. They don't belong together. It's obvious from the beginning. Okay, but I'm Luther's advocate, so back to the important characters, Lex and Lionel. Lex is ostensibly trying to value the jobs of employees and their lives more than just the bottom line, which his father has a reputation for doing. And the parents, or in Lana's case, parental figure, in all of these situations, they're all struggling with the same problem. Some part of them wants to foster independence in their kids, right? Lionel did send Lex out like the Caesars to the farthest corner of their empire to learn how to rule. But they also want their kids to use their independence to see that dad and mom always know best and to just do what their parents wanted them to do in the first place, right? But that's not how independence works. I think the fencing match between Lex and his father is an excellent image of their relationship here. It's like 50%, it's their chess match. This is how they relate to each other. You know, you see the Kents are they wear their emotion on their sleeve. They're very affectionate, all that kind of very open about how they feel about each other. The Luthers are not like that, okay? It's not that they don't have affection for each other. I don't think that's what's going on. I think that is there, but they keep that hidden, They keep that buried pretty deep. Lionel doesn't get credit for being a single dad, okay? Remember, the Kents have both husband and wife. They've got both mom and dad there at home. Lionel's all alone, okay? He's missing the fair sex in his marriage, okay? He's got no mom for his son. You think he doesn't know that there's something missing in the parenting? He's doing what he could do. He's a single dad. This is all he knows, okay? He doesn't know how to do the soft side of things. Even if he sees that this is missing and he wants to be there for his son, he's gonna struggle. Give him a break. His wife is dead. So the way they relate to each other is in this kind of this chess match, this outsmarting each other, this game, But the other 50%, of their relationship is genuine frustration on both sides. You've got a father who's trying to teach his son about the world, and he's frustrated that his son won't listen to him, and a son who's tired of being told what to do and feels like his dad's trying to control every step of his life, and he wants to do his own thing. He wants to separate himself from that, just like any young person would. So what's the result of their fencing match? Lionel wins. I think there's some symbolism in this. Lex clearly thinks he had a chance. Maybe he did have a chance, but Lionel does still win. Lionel still has more experience in life. I mentioned this in another video, but I remember a comedian doing a bit about his teenage son and realizing his son was growing up. And one of the things he said he noticed is, like, when they wrestle at home for fun, he has to try now. His son's big enough now, he's got to actually try. He'll still win. Dad's still going to win the fight, but he has to actually put some effort into it or he won't. And I think that's where Lionel and Lex are right now. Like, as the series, or as this season goes on, who gets to outsmart who? Is Lionel going to outsmart Lex, or is Lex going to outsmart Lionel? However it pans out, Lionel's going to have to put some effort into it. He does have more experience, but he's going to have to try. Lex has got his own moves now. So at the end of the episode, Lex figures out how to keep the workforce and make cuts elsewhere to get the cuts down that his father insisted on without getting rid of any of the employees. Now, if what Lionel actually cares about is genuinely just whatever the bottom line is, which is what his reputation is for, he's not going to care. Lex is right. You get the cuts that you need, and you don't get the bad PR. This is a better move. So why is it that Lionel is still annoyed by this? Maybe some of it's just simple defiance. He doesn't like his son just not doing what he tells him to do. But I think part of it is because what Lionel's real priority is here is parenting. Believe it or not, I think that's Lionel's real priority. He has that line he says to Lex in this, just remember, son, empires aren't built on clever bookkeeping. He's right. Empires are built on the character and abilities of their rulers. So I think what Lionel is seeing in Lex, which I agree with and is genuinely a valid concern, is that underlying Lex's fight to avoid firing people is a genuine weakness, and that is caring too much about being liked. He wants the people of Smallville to like him. He wants the Kents to like him. He wants the people he's there to rule, so to speak, to like and respect him. But he cares too much, and that's a dangerous, genuinely, that's a real weakness in somebody who's designed to rule. If you're in a position of power, which Lex is born into, and you're going to make consistently good decisions that are good for all of the people that you have power over, you can't be distracted by whether or not the decisions you're making get you to be liked or disliked. Just like a parent can't make decisions for their child based on whether or not their child is going to like or dislike them, and if they do that, they're going to end up hurting their kid. People in positions of power cannot make decisions based on whether or not they will be liked for making those decisions. So Lionel lets him make the choice, make this decision, because it's true. It was a good move. He doesn't have to fire anyone. He can make the cuts, and he doesn't have the bad PR. But I think Lionel's priority right now is actually the parenting, and he's concerned, validly so, with this weakness he sees in Lex. I see it too, and I think Lionel's right. Now, I don't know that, I don't agree that he should be trying to fire a bunch of people in order to teach his son this lesson. I think he also should be caring about the workforce. But I understand a father caring more about parenting his son than about whether or not certain people could keep their jobs. I get that. I'm not saying he should just dismiss those employees, but I understand him prioritizing Lex. I think it would be a very lazy oversimplification to just say, see, Lionel's evil. He doesn't care about people.